Hello, and welcome back to twitch.tv/EpitaphFox. And today we are taking a break from In Stars and Time, because theoretically we may beat the game on the next stream, and more people who have been showing up to watch the In Stars and Time streams are not available this early in the day. So we're gonna do this, which is looking at enemies from Zelda games and determining what type they would be in a Pokemon game, which is something I started doing on my birthday earlier this month. Number one Sifrin fan, thank you for redeeming first. Chaos Lord, thank you for redeeming second. Good morning, Chaos Lord. Is 48 Hype Train emotes too many? Oh, very much, sir, very much. Irishman88, good morning to you. Welcome and welcome. Now, I do apologize if I ever miss anything in chat. The setup that I have for doing this, while not ruining my setup for playing in Stars and Time, makes me use a very limited space of my monitor. So I have to not look at chat as much, or like it's not as large as it is, so if there's lots of text moving, I may miss something. So if I do miss anything, it is not because I am ignoring, it is because I am handicapping myself in terms of all of that. Water time, by the way. So, where we last left off, we did Legend of Zelda, Adventure of Link, and Link to the Past. And now we are starting with Link's Awakening. Going back to bed. Goodbye, chat. Number one Sifrin fan, thank you so much for stopping by anyway. Please go back to bed. Get some good rest. You deserve it. We will theoretically complete In Stars and Time on Tuesday. We may actually start streaming a little bit earlier. Lunchtime for you? Very nice. It is 7:44 in the morning for me over here on the East Coast. Alright. Let's go ahead. We have ZeldaDungeon.net for our collection of enemies with the pictures of their sprites, which will help us determining what their type is. They have things broken down between overworld, underworld, and traps. I don't know if that really shows up very well. Yeah, it should. We will just go down the list of each one, and we will scroll back up and go as through as we can. And if there are anything missing, because the person who created the list that I'm using right here on the Excel sheet kind of looking thing, they have different names for different enemies and traps and things. I found someone who compiled a list of every enemy by name on Reddit, and I copied their list so I could have it easier for me. So there may be things that don't make sense right away. We will figure it out. Excuse me. So, let us start with Armos. Pretty standard. It's your night enemy. We've seen this before in previous Zelda games. It's a steel type. It's a steel type. Beetle? Again, pretty obvious. Pretty standard. That's a bug. A Borblin. I don't okay. I think this is going to be one of those things where it's named something else on the list, so we will just move on. Bomber. Now this guy, we've seen this kind of enemy before in some of the later Zelda games. It's like a flying mushroom thing that shoots bombs, obviously, which gives me grass, fire, energy, but because of the wings, I'm going to give this grass flying. Buzz Blob over here. I'm pretty sure these are electric slimes. I'm also, because, like, this is Link's Awakening, and I've played Link's Awakening HD on the Switch. I'm kind of trying to, like, keep in mind what would be similar between the two games. So I think these are the electric ones, hence the buzz in their name. So I'm going to give this just electric type. We may have given this in a previous game a different typing or like a secondary typing. I think electric just works fine. It's electric jelly. Just because it's jelly doesn't mean it needs to be water type. It doesn't have to be. The crow. Pretty standard. Because this is in the overworld, I think I'm just going to give this normal flying. In previous games, I would have given this like a dark flying or something, but this is the overworld, and there's an underworld, or underground. Normal flying. It's a crow. Cuco, same thing. Although it's not even listed in here, so we will move on then. The Cuke Man, he is... those are supposed to be feet, not anything else. If you see anything else on that, ignore it. That's a grass type. Dark Nut, Dark Steel. Guinea and Giant Guinea. Luckily, they're right next to each other on that. These are ghost types. I don't think we necessarily need them to have any additional typings, right? Giant Gapanga Flower. It's grass. What do you want? Oh, there's the regular one. Yeah, these are just grass. Levers. These are ground steel. Likes. I don't recall what we gave likes as typings in previous iterations. I'd be willing to... I feel like they're kind of like normal enemies, or if anything, they're just kind of like dark enemies. Because they're just like these like writhing masses in like a cylindrical shape. Yeah, we'll give it dark type. I'm not gonna think too much on these. A Mad Bomber. Now here's an instance where it's an enemy I don't think I've ever even seen before, so I really have only to go off of the image. I could open up the wiki page for it and learn a little bit more about it, but the fact that it's a Mad Bomber makes me think that it has a bomb attack, and it's red. I'm gonna give this thing fire type. Moblin. Moblin is kind of like your normal enemy. In some iterations, we may have given it like dark typing or fighting typing, but it's a normal enemy. It's a normal little animal dude. Monkey. Well, we don't have monkey on here, so it could be considered something else. A mutt. I'm not seeing mutt on here. That's okay. We move on. Octorok. Octoroks continue to kind of be less associated with water. Although, like, you do find them in water in Link's Awakening DX, or not DX, but Link's Awakening HD on Switch. I feel like the Octorok still remains kind of like just like a rock type. It shoots boulders. Here we got a Pinsir. Pinsir, it's a bug type. Like, literally, the Pokemon Pinsir, even. Pokey. Pokey is a grass type. It's a cactus. A Raven. Well, we don't have Raven, so we will move on. River Zora. Water type. Sand crab. I know we've seen crab up here before, right? Yeah, crab. Crab is a, yeah, I would give sand crab water ground. I would give it that. I would. And I will. And I am. Sea urchin. Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky for me. Because the sea urchins, you know, they appear underwater in the later games, but in this game, they're kind of just like a spike hazard. So I would be actually willing to give this maybe like rock type, or perhaps water rock. It does have Corsola vibes in that essence. Yeah, let's go ahead and give it water rock. The bush spiny beetle. I don't know what that name falls under in particular. I remember we had seen in a previous iteration, like, oh, it would fall under this name, but I don't know out of the ones that we're seeing here what it would fall under. So we will just move on. Again, the spiny beetle, but skull version. Well, here's spiny beetle here. I guess depending on what it's using to cover itself up with, the spiny beetle could be bug grass or bug ghost, maybe? Or even like bug dark. Let's do that. Oh, excuse me. I thought I could hold it back. I could not. Oh, there's also a stone version of it, too? Okay, so I'm gonna say bug. And then, like, grass, dark, rock. It depends on what it's holding, but like the holding part changes its secondary typing, which I actually think in a Pokemon game that would be pretty cool. Like, depending on the environment you find the Pokemon, it changes its secondary typing. I think that would be really cool. What do we got here? Sword Moblin. We don't have anything for that. We move on. Tektites. Stupid effing Tektites. One of my least favorite enemies, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna give these guys water flying again. Winged Octorok. We don't separate them by that, so, but apparently there's a winged variant, so that's actually pretty cool. We move on. Zombie! Ghost type. maybe ghost normal. Maybe ghost ground, because they're coming out of the ground. I like that. Ghost ground. And now we shoot all the way back up to the top. Wait, what was that at the bottom there? Oh, nothing. Nothing for me personally. Okay. The Underworld. Angler Fry. No idea what that's referring to. Anti-Kirby. The Kirby enemy that exists in this game for some reason. I think you can only defeat it with bombs, too, which makes it even more annoying. If I recall correctly from playing the Switch version of this game. I'm gonna give this fairy typing. It's Kirby. Like, it's anti-Kirby, but it's Kirby, right? It's a fairy. The Arm Mimic. Now I have no idea what's up with this guy, but mimics in general give me kind of a dark vibe, like a puppet vibe almost. So I'd be willing to do maybe like normal dark or just dark. Let's do dark. Battle Bat. Well, we don't have that on here, so we move on. Battle Bat and Blazing Bat. I wonder what those could actually be considered. I know that this is supposed to be Blooper up here. Blooper's water. Bob-omb. They come in green and red. So probably from the color dungeon, right? I'm gonna give Bob-omb... It's a fire type. Bone Putter. This is Ghost Flying, without a doubt. Also, sometimes I capitalize, sometimes I don't. I hope that's not too annoying. The Boo Buddy is a ghost. No. Goo Specters. Nope, no idea what that's referring to. Cheep Cheep. That's a water type. Gel. I think in the past we've given Gel either water or poison, depending. But they're little slimes. They're little slimes. It's a water type. Gibdo. That's, I know I've given Ghost Grass in the past, because the whole idea is you hit them with fire so that they burn up, because the bandages and paper. It's a mummy, though, which is essentially a zombie just wrapped up, right? You know, just to give it its weakness to fire, grass still kind of works. So I'll give it Ghost Grass. Goombas. Goombas are little mushroom toadstool things. So, you know, fungus, grass. Could I see this being any other typing, perhaps, though? Or is it just grass? It could be considered normal grass. I'd give it that. Hard Hat Beetle. That's either like a rock bug, like, oh my goodness, what is that Pokemon? From Cyanwood. Why am I blanking on its name right now? Oh god, I have to Google. I didn't want to. Shuckle. There we go. Yeah, Bug Rock. Iron Mask. Now these are the little guys who kind of like walk around and they have the like spiky mask on them. And if you can get the mask off them, they're just kind of normal guys underneath. I'm going to give this normal steel. Terribly weak to fighting. Terribly weak to fighting. Orb monsters. We don't have them listed as that in here, so we move on. The Keese, the Keese is your dark flying. Obviously. Mini Moldorm. I think we've given this thing like bug ground before. Maybe just bug here. The Parod. I have no idea what this is. It looks like a penguin. For that, I would be willing to give it ice typing, but it only just barely looks like a penguin. It looks more bird-like than a penguin. Like a bird without wings, like a kiwi. In that case, then, normal type. Normal. P-Hat is your standard grass flying. Now we have Piranha, but we have Piranha Plant here, so... Oh, well, here it is. Okay, grass. Pole's Voice. That's like... I would give that thing fairy. Rope. Normal poison. Oh, you know, actually... I was gonna say just poison, but you know what? Normal poison really works well for this, I think. Not a lot of, like, dragons, though. Shadow Link is on here using the image from... from the Switch version. Okay. Shrouded Stalfos. Shrouded Stalfos. So it's a skeleton with a cloak on, right? You know what? Ghost Fairy. Ghost Fairy. It also comes with a sword sometimes. Surprisingly enough, Shy Guy isn't on here. But we have the Sparks. Those are electric. Electric. Spiked Beetle. Bug Steel. Then we've just got regular Stalfos. They come in green or orange. Ghost Fighting? Mrs. Epitaph Fox, thank you very much for the splash. Unfortunately, it does nothing, but it does let me know that you're here. Star. I I have no idea what this thing is. It looks like a little guy. I'd be willing to give Star fairy type just off of appearance alone. Why not? Why not? Three of a Kind. These are kind of an interesting enemy. Usually always they come in pairs of threes, and you need to make it so that their symbols all match in order to defeat all of them. Kind of tricky, which gives me fairy vibes. Also, I kind of have a little bit of dark vibes from it, a little bit, but not too much. You know, just from like the trickiness of it, we're gonna go fairy. These are fairy enemies. Vire. These guys, I hated fighting these in the remake. Demon guys shoot out fireballs, so we could go fire flying. We could potentially go dragon. It is very dragon-like, in a way, right? Fire Dark would work well as well. Fire Fairy could work as well. I mean, it's definitely fire, right? There's no question about that. It's fire. We could even argue fire flying. But we almost never get dragon types, so fire dragon. Even though it's more of a demon, I don't care. Moving on. Water tech type, doesn't matter. Vacuum mouth, that's not on here. Wizrobe, I'm surprised the person who made this didn't say that there are Wizrobes. Unless, again, like they think a different name applies to it. We will figure that out. Zoles, here we go. Zoles are slimes. They're water. Alright, back to the top of our list. Anti-fairy. Because of the skull, I always get ghost fairy vibes. Beamos is not on here. Okay. Blade trap, steel. Boulder, that's rock. Flame fountain, not on here. Flying tile, not on here. Giant bubble, not on here. Mega thwomp, I'm pretty sure that's just thwomp. That's a rock. It's a rock! Potaboo is not on here, but I wonder if they thought that was a Poe. We will look into that. Spiked roller, not on here. Spike thwomp, we got thwomp. Stone statue, not on here. Stone elevator, thwimp. Face lamp. Yeah, not even in here. There were quite a few in here actually where they just weren't listed, or they're probably listed as a different name. So now we go Link's Awakening Camo Goblin. Okay. Camo goblins are those little... I would not have thought that they would be called camo goblins. The goo specters are camo goblins. We will change their names here. I mean, they're goo, so water, right? But I don't know. They seem a little bit more ghostly. Like they remind me of Slimer from Ghostbusters, if anything. But they're definitely not ghosts. Dark water. Fin Piranha is probably what the Not the Cheep. What was the other one? It's just Piranha, right? Yeah. Piranha, you know, we'll give this Water Dark as well. Goria. Oh, Goria is the boomerang guy, but he wasn't listed as an enemy, so we will remove him. Karakoro. Okay, Karakoro are those, orb guys. Orb monsters. I'd be willing to give these things maybe Dark Steel. Or just Steel, maybe. Yeah, just Steel. Mask Mimic. It's the Shy Guys. Shy Guy. The Shy Guy Mask Mimic. Come on. They've always given me normal vibes. Always given me normal vibes. Para-Octo. Oh, okay, so that's the flying Octorok, right? Flying Octorok, it's flying rock type. It's a Minior. The Poe. That's definitely gotta be that other ghost thing we saw. It's not giving me what I'm specifically looking for, so we will just go off of the assumption then. Where was it? Oh, I guess it was a trap. I didn't think it was. The Podoboo. Now, I get Ghost Fire vibes from this. Alright, and that is everything from our list. Obviously, there's some in here that we're not seeing. I'm just gonna move on. Ocarina of Time. Now, here's a game I feel like I will see the enemy and I'll be like, I know exactly what that is. Okay, we have a different layout here, but I think this will be okay. Armos. These are statues now. They have upgraded from suits of armor to statues of suits of armor. It is rock. Beamos. They're so ugly when you see them just face forward. I never noticed they have little legs. I was thinking rock type, but I think really they're not really rockish. They have like maybe like rock, similar rock camouflage in a way, but they're just kind of like weird dudes. I can't stop laughing looking at this thing. I never knew it had a mouth and nose and a nose before. The fact that it has like the eyeball laser gives me psychic vibes. Let's go psychic. Big Skulltula. It's probably just going to show up as Skulltula on the list. That would be okay. Fire Keese. It might be separated into the different, like, it'll just say Keese in here. So we'll move on. Right? Yeah, there's no Fire Keese listed here. Gold Skulltula. They did not separate gold Skulltulas. Okay, that's fine. Keese. Wait, they not even... Okay, Keese. Okay, so Keese have a fire and a ice variant in this game. So I would be willing to say that it is flying with either normal, fire, or ice, depending on the keys that you come across. Likes. Always hungry, try to eat exotic items, not animals. It still kind of gives, like, mass vibes. Like, it's just kind of like a shambling mass of fleshiness or whatever. I'm gonna give this thing dark normal. Mad Scrub. It's probably gonna show up as Deku Scrub. These are Grass Dark. Stalfos. Where are you in here? Here you go, Stalfos. Very clearly, they are not just ghosts anymore. They've got weapons, they've got armor. This is Ghost Steel. Skulltulas. Skullwaltula? Is that an actual thing? It is! Skullwaltulas are a variant of Skulltulas that cling to vertical surfaces, easily defeated with a ranged weapon. So these are like the mini ones, basically. And then, like, the Skulltula is just normal. But there's also a big one? Poison Steel? Are you saying that for Stalfos or for the Skulltulas? Because, like, the Skulltulas are spiders. And, like, they are just regular spiders, right? The skull is like a pattern on its back. It's not an actual... They bang when you hit them. Oh, that's true. It's a very hard exterior. You know what? Sure. We will give it Poison Steel. And the Skullwaltulas, the little ones, we'll just give them Poison Bug. Because you can hit them with a slingshot and they'll die. Wall Masters. These things... I honestly don't know what to make of wall masters and floor masters and things like that. Like, they seem like they are dark. They seem kind of ghostly. But I also get kind of like an insect vibe from them in a way. I mean, like, they're just like a monster that looks like a hand, right? Shadows, ominous sounds, and hints by Navi can signal their approach. They hang from the ceiling and drop down on Link. Like, that gives me bug vibes. Dark bug. And Wolfos. I mean, it's a wolf, right? Like, I'd be willing to give it maybe, like, a dark typing, just because it's pretty crazy. But when it comes to, like, normal type, it's like regular beasts, and a Wolfos is literally just a wolf. Wolfos are normal. It has been decided. Alright, scrolling back up, we've got Big Deku Baba here. That's grass. Maybe we can say that the big one in particular is dark type, whereas the regular one would be just grass type, maybe? While it's a bit stronger than its diminutive cousins, the Big Deku Baba has the same attacks. Yeah, let's do that. Big Poe. It's not even on here as a Big Poe, but it's probably just a regular Poe here. That's a ghost. Without a doubt. Maybe we could argue it's Ghost Fire. They specifically have lanterns now. Ghost Fire. Business Scrub. It's gonna all fall under the Deku Scrub, so I don't think we have Business Scrub in here. Oh, but there is Big Poe specifically in here. We'll do Ghost Fire for that. Club Moblin. He is in here. Club Moblin gives me rock vibes. Especially with the club. The armor itself, it kind of looks mostly just spiky, which could be rocks rather than steel. I'm gonna give these guys just rock type. Maybe, you know what, rock fighting. We'll be generous. The Kuko, normal. Flying. Gliding counts as flying. Wouldn't you know it? Deku Baba, we've already gotten that down. Deku Scrub, we've got that down. The Gwei! I like how it's like, just go look at the main article for the information on it. The Gwei. It's a pelican, right? It's very similar to a pelican. It's normal flying. Levers. Levers seem less ground type. Do they? No, they still like pop up out of the ground, right? They seem less rock type though. Like, they've got the spikes, and that's kind of why I went with like ground rock or ground steel with them before, but they seem a little bit more natural, like a ground grass. Now they seem they're more like natural in that sense. Moblins. These guys, like, the main difference between the Club Moblin and the Moblin is that regular Moblins have spears. So where the first one would have been rock fighting, these are going to be rock steel. Octoroks. I feel like they are more associated with water again in comparison to previous games. So we're going to give Water Rock, because they still shoot out those rock projectiles. Peahat. We know what that is. That is grass flying, and it always will be. Peahat Larva. I think it's the same thing. Grass larva. Grass flying. The regular pose, they still have lanterns. Ghostfire can stay. Skull Kid. Is Skull Kid even going to be in here? No. Well, we're not going to add it. Stall Child. That's a ghost. I do appreciate when the games kind of add things that are either like bigger versions, but they have different names, or tinier versions and they're like child versions. Because in a Pokemon game, that's a clear indication of evolution, right? Tektites. Water flying again. These guys, they jump up into the air. Jumping is kind of their main thing. We get flying from that. Ooh, child timeline. Okay, Baby Dodongo. That's a rock type. Bari. That is electric. The Beery, the bigger one. That's also electric. Should we say water electric? It gains water typing. Yeah. Dodongos. I would say proper Dodongos give dragon vibes. Rock dragon. Even though they're more dinosaurs, dragon vibe, it's the best we've got. If we're going to include any dragons in any of these games, it has to be on vibe alone, unless they are literally a dragon enemy. Goma larva. The Goma is a plant, isn't it? So these things should also just kind of be grass? Maybe grass bug, because they're larvae, specifically. Lizalfos. Now, they show up in the Dodongo Cavern, right? Like, these guys are in, like, the hot climate areas, the hot temperature areas. Do they breathe fire, though? If we go to the Lizalfos page, is that Lizalfos across all games, or specifically... Okay, this one in Ocarina of Time. Okay. Little armor, very agile, not a common enemy. First encountered in Dodongo's Cavern. They are the mini-bosses. Alright, no fire attacks. They're just kind of in the fire environment. So... they've got armor, which makes me want to give them steel typing. But otherwise, they're lizards. They're big lizards. I don't want to give them water typing. Water typing doesn't seem right. I'm thinking like steel something. Steal something. I thought if I looked up just like all of the Pokemon types to just kind of look at it, it would help me out. Salazzle is fire poison. I mean, I guess like they don't have to be fire breathing to be fire type. They live in the volcano. That's kind of like, it gives fire. It also gives kind of rock a little bit. Maybe instead of steel, we could do fighting, because fighting kind of like encompasses like the armor, and they're very minimally armored. They're not like heavily armored. All right, I'm gonna go with firefighting on the Lizalfos. Location and how you encounter them alone. Firefighting. I feel it makes the most sense. Especially because there's very little sense to have. Parasitic Tentacle. Jesus Christ, that's a long sprite. I mean, it's parasitic, which gives me poison vibes. It's tentacle, which gives me water vibes. It's water poison. The Shabam. It's literally just like those little bubble things. I would classify that specifically as water type, but you know what? They float around. We'll give it water flying. Why not? Stinger. Stingers are little fish that jump out of the water. Would I give that water flying just for being kind of like a fish that looks like it has wings? I would. The tail passaran. I have no idea what that is in particular. Let's look at the page. Long, worm-like creatures with glowing, electrified bodies and vulnerable hook-shaped heads. Alright, electric bug. That's all I need. The Anubis, which is just like that floating thing that moves in the same way that Link does, but mirrored. I was going to say just rock, because it looks like it's just a statue, but also kind of looks like something that's wrapped up. It has more of like a mummy quality to it, more so than just a statue. So maybe like rock fairy. Also because again, it's more of like a riddle creature, something you actually need to like solve to kill it. So rock fairy. Blue bubble. Are bubbles in here? They are. They're ghost fire. The Dinalfos. What the heck are Dinalfos? I mean, clearly they're Lizalfos, like, upgraded, right? But, so they're more heavily armed Lizalfos. Appearing only in the Gerudo training ground in Ganon's castle. Okay. Well, if they're more heavily armored, I'd be willing to give it fire steel, then. Or, because again, like going with like the dino theme, we gave the Dodongo dragon typing. We could give this dragon steel. Let's do that, because where you find them, it's less about it being immune to fire. Dragon steel. The Floor Master. Now we gave Wall Master, what did we give it? Dark Bug? Floor Masters are basically the same thing, but just on the floor. So, Dark Bug. I would attribute this to being more like Sock and Throw, where they're both fighting types, but they're different, but they're the same, but they're different. Floor Master and Wall Master would be a version exclusive kind of thing. We also have an ad break supposedly starting in about 10 seconds, so watch out for that. Freezard, we finally have some ice types. Finally! I see no reason to indicate that it's ice and anything else, honestly. It's ice. Let it be ice. The Gerudo Guard. I mean, we're only seeing Gerudo Thief in here. Probably because you don't actually fight the guards, but I feel like they would be the same typing regardless. They're fighting. There's no other way around it. They have a style of fighting. Just because they have weapons doesn't mean that they do anything else. Gerudos are fighting typing. Gibdo. Same thing. It's a zombie wearing bandages. I really like being able to give it that fire weakness by giving it grass typing. So we will just do ghost grass. The green bubble, we already did bubble. It's all fire. It's all fire. Ice keys, we already took care of that with the keys. Iron knuckle. That's steel if I ever saw it. We could argue steel fighting. It's steel. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Redead. It's a zombie. It's ghost. We could argue again, like maybe like normal ghost. In the past with zombies specifically, we have given what do you call it? We've given ground ghost, because specifically in Link's Awakening they come out of the ground. These guys, they're just kind of hanging around where you find them. I don't know if I would give normal though. They're very tricky in a way that like they have that like audible scream that freezes you in place so they can grab you. So maybe like Ghost Dark. Shellblade. It's a spiky clam. It's water type. And Spike. That's a steel type. Torch Slug is quite obviously not water. Wow, Firebug. White Bubble. I didn't know they were actually called White Bubbles. I thought it was just Bubble on its own. I think like they do different effects to Link. Like one of them will just set him on fire. The other one will make it so he can't like swap his items or use items other than his sword. They're all just ghost fire. It makes the most sense. If they did separate them on the list, I would give this ghost flying, but otherwise it's fine. And White Wolfos, they didn't separate them, but I will go ahead and like put like ice normal in the event that it's the white one. Blade Trap is not on here, actually. Interesting. Normally we do see those on these lists, but I guess the person who made these must have been going off of, like, can you kill it in some way, or, like, damage it in some way. And you really can't do anything to the blade traps. But Boulder is still here. Well, you can't destroy boulders, but they included Boulder here. Whoever made this, like, they've got problems. No, I'm joking. they've got certain ways of doing things. Business Scrub is on here. Yeah, well, that is grass. Business Scrub is just grass. Meanwhile, the other Deku Scrubs can be grass dark. Door Mimic. The idea of a mimic always gives me fairy or dark vibes, because it's all about, like, being a trickster. But it's also like a door, and it kind of looks like a metal door, or at least a rock door. We'll just give it dark type. The eyeball switch. Not on here. Okay. Falling spikes. What do you know? Not on here. Fire eyeball. Not on here. Flame wall. Not on here. Floor spikes. Not on here. We have flying pot and flying tile, but none of these. Here we go. Flying jar. That's rock flying. Flying tile is ground flying. The guillotine. I have no idea why that's on here when everything else we've seen isn't. Dark steel. Sure. Mad Scrub. Oh, there is specifically Mad Scrub. What? Why separate them but not anything else? Mad Scrub can be grass dark again. It's fine. Red jelly. Is jelly on here? I know red jelly isn't. Nope, red jelly isn't on here. Fine, whatever. The spiked roller, volcanic rock, the whirling scythe. None of those are here. What are we missing? Infinite hand. What is that? Oh, Infinite Hand is that boss. I did not know it was called Infinite Hand. Even though it's not on here. I guess because it's not looking at bosses. These are just the regular enemies. Right? Let's scroll back up to the top. What are we missing that I could just kind of like look up? Is that the last one? Bioelectric cube. I have no idea what that is. That's the red jelly? What the heck? It's poison electric. And infinite hand. Oh my god, that's the weird gross thing. It's basically a zombie, right? They are long, gangling arms that rise from the ground to grab Link. They are commonly appear alongside Dead Hand, the only exception being a single infinite hand that appears in the water barrier. Oh, so Dead Hand is the boss. The infinite hands are the spindly things that grow out. Ground Ghost, then. Alright. We now move on to the next game. Majora's Mask. Alright, a return to form. We've got all of them based off of the area they show up in now. So we're going to be scrolling back and forth a lot during these. But the Bad Bat is first for us. The fact that they're calling it Bad Bat very specifically and not Keese gives me Dark Flying vibe. Oh my goodness. Big Dekubaba. Doesn't look that big. Yeah, just grass. Dodongo. Rock Dragon. The green Choo Choo. So is that going to show up just as Choo Choo? But like there's green and then there's pink because it's based off of what they're carrying, magic or hearts. But they're still just the jellies. I would give this thing water. Water. I would give it water. The Gways, they're still just kind of regular birds. Their beaks are huge. Is it that their eyes are part of their beaks? Is that what that is? I don't know. Normal flying. P-hat, we know P-hats. P-hat larva. Grass bug. Oh, red, not pink, red. It's all the same. Skullwaltulas. They are not separated in this particular one. So I'll just go ahead and put it. Skulltula, it's the same. It's poison and then, like, steel or bug, depending. And a Takuri, which I don't even know what this is. I don't think I've ever seen this in a Zelda game before. What the heck? It's like a monkey bird. Horrible. Tell me about the Takuri. I've never seen it before. The Takuri is an odd-looking bird with a massive-sized head that charges at Link when he draws near. If the bird hits Link, it will steal rupees, bottles, and even Link's sword. Whatever the Takuri steals from Link, it becomes available at the Curiosity Shop for Link to purchase. Could be a lackey of Sakon the Thief, or the man from the Curiosity Shop. However, if the Link plays the Song of Time, any item stolen will be recovered. Oh, so that's that thing that flies down at you? 15 regular arrows to defeat. Jesus Christ. If you defeat it, it drops 200 rupees. Holy cow. I think, like, I recognize it, but I've never actually seen it before. I'm gonna say Dark Flying, because it's a thief. That's weird. The Romani Ranch. The only enemy we come across here is them, which is basically the aliens. I'm going to say these are ghost psychic. Over to Woodfall now. We got the big Octos. Now, you only see these guys when you're looking at the poison swamp, right? So that leads me to believe it's more poison than water. Oh, big stretch. Oh, excuse me. With that in mind, I would say poison rock. Black bow. Are they even on here? No, they're just called bows. These things are weird, right? Like, they just kind of, like, gang up on you. Always clump together in groups. That is the only real way they can harm Link. They come in two varieties. The black bow chooses to immerse itself in dark areas, whereas the white ones hoist itself in light conditions such as snow. Lurk in the dark in order to blend into the adjacent surroundings. They attack in swarms and sometimes hide in pots. A sword slash is sufficient to defeat them. I'm going to say that they come in either dark or ice-type variety. But they're like very much like ghostly, so we'll say ghost. And then either dark or ice. Dependent. Carnivorous lily pad. Is it going to just be called lily pad here? No? Okay, we move on then. Dekubaba. I mean, it's grass. Dinalphos, same thing we've seen before. Dragon, steel, dragonfly. What's up with the dragonfly specifically? Strikes with its stinger. Winged insects. I'm gonna say bug poison. Or, again, there's always a need to have more dragon types. It's a dragonfly. Dragon bug. Gold Skulltula. Even though gold isn't steel, gold is metal, and steel applies to metal. That's a steel bug. A hip loop. What the heck is a hip loop? I don't think I've ever seen this before in this game. Or maybe I have. Hip loop is the Japanese name for the more commonly found Zelda enemy known as a Helmasaur. In Majora's Mask, the enemy did not receive the same name translation and instead retained the name Hip Loop. Hip loops are hot-headed, so they'll charge at you if you look at it in the eye. If it comes at you, assume the defensive position. Insect-like enemies, protective masks. I'm gonna say rock bug on this. Mad Scrub. That's Grass Dark. Mini Baba. Grass. Moths. Those are bug types. We're not even going to give them flying, because they're just bugs. The Octoroks, specifically. Water Rock. Skulltula, we've indicated between Skulltula and Waltula. Snappers. Now these are those turtles. Let's do Water Rock. Withered Dekubaba. Good, it's not here. Okay, good. Wolfos. Wolfos are back, and I feel like in Majora's Mask they are a little bit more dangerous. A little bit more foreboding, so we'll give them normal dark in this particular game. Alright, starting up at E with Enos, which look to be like snow. I can't tell if they're buried in the snow or if they are the snow. Snow-based enemies. Mounds of snow that live in cold environments and throw snowballs at Link. I'm getting possessed snow vibes. Ghost Ice. Fire Keys, we already know is not specifically listed. Freezard is here though, and that is Ice. Giant Bee. Bug Poison. It's Beedrill. Ice Keys and Keys. Yeah, we already got those. Bubbles. Ghost Fire. Tektites. Yes, so it's either normal dark or ice. Normal ice. Sure, I'll agree to that. In the Great Bay, we got blue choo-choos. It's all water. It's water. Deep Python. These are the electric ones, I think. They come out of the water caves. Water electric. The Desbreco are ghost fish. Ghost water. Dexy Hand. Are those the individual pieces of that one boss? Stick out of the walls, grabbing Link and throwing him a short distance if he gets too close. Okay, so they do more throwing than anything else. You can kill them with electricity. I would say like they kind of seem more like a seaweed of some kind, rather than like anything else. I'd give it water grass. The Garana, they're piranhas. It's like a swarm of piranha. But I don't see them on here unless they're just listed as piranhas in here. No? Does the wiki indicate they have a different name? No? Okay, we're moving on then. Gerudo Guard. That's... Gerudo Guard, is there like a thing for pirate alone, maybe? No? So just Gerudo Guard, but not Gerudo Pirates? I guess they're the same. They're fighting types. Through and through. Yellow choo-choos, I didn't even know there was a yellow variety. Lever, we've already seen, I think. Oh no, not in this, but I still see it. It's like grass, rock, maybe, or... grass ground, because they come out of the ground. Likes, normal dark, Shellblade, water. Skullfish is another ghost fish. I didn't know the individual pose from the graveyard had, or from Icana region had names. This one's name is Amy, apparently. Armos, they are still statues, but they actually specifically are statues with, like, weapons and shields with them. I would give this rock steel. Bmos, those are psychic types. Amy and Beth and the Big Poe. Big Poe, it's Ghostfire. We don't have Blade Trap anymore. We already did the bubbles. Death Armos. What's the difference between Armos and Death Armos? More intense version. That's it. Moves primarily by hovering above the ground in a patrol routine and trying to squish him. Interesting. Well, that gives psychic vibes. Psychic steel, perhaps? Igor, is that going to be on here? It is. It's a Cyclops of some kind. I don't recall this enemy. Oh, okay. They're just kind of the Cyclops, but I don't remember it from Majora's Mask. The Igor's only 3D appearances in Majora's Mask. There's only 2 of them in the game, which are in Stone Tower Temple as a mini-boss. Well, that would explain it. I have not played through Majora's Mask in a very long time, and if it's also towards the end in one of the last dungeons, that would make sense. He can shoot laser beams from his eyes and smash his arms on the ground if Link gets close to him. You reflect the mirror with the mirror shield, the laser beam back at him, and then shoot him with arrows. Psychic. I feel like Psychic just really works for the I-beam creatures. Floor Master, a bug. It's bug dark. They always are. Garrow. I guess that's Garrow Robe. What the heck are these guys? Race of ninja sentries that appear out of thin air, being shells of spies originating from the enemy nation outside of a term. They can be found in a kind of canyon, where they pop up in specific areas that Tattle alerts Link of. You get the mask from them. At first, see Link as their master, however, they soon realize that's not the case, as they question who Link is, and then proceed to attack him instead. Oh, okay. So they're very specific enemies. Okay. It does not look familiar to me at all. But if they kind of are ninjas, that gives dark fighting vibes. Gibdo, this is Ghost Grass. We've established this. Joelle. Oh, so Amy, Beth, Joelle, and Meg are the names of the 4 Poes. That's funny. Nejiron? What the heck is Nejiron? Why are there so many enemies in this game that I don't know? Strange-looking rock-like creatures that look and move similar to Gorons. They've adapted their moving pattern to directly resemble a rolling Goron, making them more deadly when they're encountered. According to Tattle, they smell like gunpowder, indicating their explosive nature. They attack by rolling into him, crushing him in the process. Each time a Nejiron has been defeated, a new one digs itself up from underground, making this a seemingly endless struggle. Jeez. I thought those were just Gorons rolling around. So it's a twisted Goron. Okay. That's so weird. Well, if they smell like gunpowder and have an explosive quality, these guys are rock fire. A real bomb chew. It's a mouse with a bomb. It's normal fire. We could probably argue for electric because of the bomb, because typically Voltorb and Electrode are electric types and they are bombs. But this is normal fire. Oh, excuse me. There's no question about it. Redead, Ghost Dark. Wallmaster, Bug Dark. Alright, and the Icona Graveyard. Iron Knuckle. Where are you? Steel. Keys. I thought we did these, but I guess I got confused with Ocarina of Time, so this is pretty standard. It is either normal, fire, or ice. Dependent. And Stallchild. Ghost. So Venus Flytrap is probably the lily pad thing. We can call that Watergrass. And did I miss any in here? Flying Pot? I didn't see that in here, but we've typically done Flying Rock for those. Yeah. Alright, we're finally getting to, like, where the lists are matching up pretty well. Majora's Mask is done, and what is next after that? Oracle of Seasons. Starting with the Armos. Steel. I mean, it describes them as stationary statues. I saw it, and now it affects it. These guys are rock types. They are statues. I saw it, and it affects it. Moving on. Beetles. Same as always, they're bugs. Borblins. They're probably just listed as moblins. We move on. Business Scrub. Not on here. Moving on. Buzzblob, we're familiar. Crow, we're used to Crow, right? Kuko is not in here, but Cukeman is back. It's really funny how, like, for the Game Boy Color and, like, earlier games, a lot of the enemies are literally just, yeah, these enemies, we're just porting them over. No, I don't want Smart Phil. Get over yourself. Dark Nuts. Dark Steel. Although in these particular sprites, they look like they have they fight with their fists rather than with weapons. Should we do Dark Fighting instead of Dark Steel this time? Just because it looks like they only have fists. Why not? You know, regional variants and what have you. Podoboo Tower. Are they even listed in here? Fire Pokey, that's what it's gotta be, right? Podoboo Tower, that's fire typing. Piranha. That's the Fin Piranha. Water. Genie. Ghost. Gaponga Flower. That's grass. Lava Fire. What? Pass. Levers. Where are you, Lever? Alright, so the different colors just changes how they move around on the field. These guys, they do look more plant-like than before, so ground grass again. Likes, normal dark. Lionels, here we go. Something a little new, something a little interesting here. Referred to as fire cats in the booklet, these wolves charge up at Link and deal some heavy damage. Once they start pounding him, it's hard to get them off. Alright, well, I mean, they charge forward, they're centaurs still. We could maybe do fighting type for these guys. Magma Bomb. Is that what Magnite is? We'll figure it out. We got the Moblins here. Normal. Octorok. Rock types. Pinsir, we already know, that's a bug type. Pokies, those are grass. River Zora, we already know. Water type. They always list it as crab specifically. Water ground. The spiny beetles, we've seen these before. We know how we do with these things. This is bug, and it could be grass or rock, depending. Takuri is back. But not on our list. Okay. Tektites, those stupid things. Anti-Fairy. Ghost Fairy. Arm Mimic. Fairy. Ball and Chain Soldier, or Trooper. That's Steel Fighting, or just Steel, maybe? Steel Fighting, that's fine. Bubbles. Ghost Fire still. Chaser, is that it is? Okay. Blade Traps different from the others. They don't go as fast as the Blade Traps do. Normally with Blade Traps, we just give them steel, but there's kind of like a methodical approach to the Chasers, specifically. Fairy Steel. Cheap, cheap, that's water. Floor Masters come in blue and creep around rooms. I would say that they are less bug-like in these games. I would give Floor Master just Dark type. Gel, we already know. Gels are water. Water. Gibdo, we already know. Ghost Grass. Hard Hat Beetle. Bug Rock. Iron Mask. I think we've given normal steel in these cases. The Keys, we already know. Magnite. Okay, so there's something different. Magnite is a floating metallic creature that frequently flips between its red side and blue side while shooting small fireballs at Link. They tend to move as far away as possible from Link when he comes towards them. Magnetic gloves will repel them when turned red or attract them when turned blue. Best strategy is to wait until they try and flip. They're not able to move while doing so and slash them twice quickly. These guys are electric fire. Mini Moldorm, these guys are bugs. Moth, not even on here. P-Hat, we already know. Podoboo, we already know. These guys are Ghost Fire. Pole's Voice, Fairy. Rope. Poison Normal. The Shrouded Stalfos are back. I think we gave them Psychic Ghost. Oh, they're sword types and arrow types, so they're like ghost fighting. Spark, electric. Spike Beetle. I would give this Bug Steel. The different Stalfos here. Orange ones throw their bones. I would say just Ghost for the Stalfos. That's fine. Wall Master. Dark types as well. They are less bug-like. And finally some Wizrobes here. Now, normally I think we've given them, like, Psychic Fire in previous games. They shoot magical beams down in straight lines, down, left, or right. Never shoot diagonally. We're just going to give them Psychic here. Zols. They're jelly. They're water. They're the same as gels. I don't know why there's Zols and gels. They're the exact same, in my opinion. Beamos. Psychic. Blade Trap. Steel. Although, what the heck is with the orange ones having skulls on, and the red ones? What? Oh, giant ones have skulls on them. Do we have giant blade trap on the list here? We do. Okay. Giant blade traps are huge. To avoid them, stay on path. It does do some great damage, so make sure to not come in contact with it. Okay. Well, I mean, if they're bigger. Oh, what's up with Rocky? Do you need some help? Well, because of the skull, it gives me either dark or ghost vibes. He's up. Okay. We are going to pause stream here while I go down and take care of our dog. We'll come back and finish up Oracle of Seasons, but we will be right back. There we go. Hello, I'm back. I took a short break to take care of my dog, and now back to it. We're just going to finish up this game, and then we will wrap up stream. Giant blade trap. You can see them over there. Just because they're skull in design, I'm feeling like they don't do anything different. It's just that they are bigger and harder to avoid. These are steel as well. Okay, flying tile, we know the deal. Ground flying. Stone statues. These are the dragon things that shoot fire out of their mouth, but they're rock statues. Are they even on here? They aren't. Okay, moving on. Thwimps. Rock. Thwomp. Rock. I mean, I guess I could argue that they are flying in a capacity, but rock. Okay, we never found Deku Scrub on this list, unless there's a thing at the top that's like, oh, well, the second category. No. Okay. So we will just fill it in based off of our own understanding of previous games. Deku Scrub, Grass, Dark. Hip Loop, those are the Helmosaurs. I believe I decided that they were Bug Rocks. Raven, Dark Flying, and that should be it. So the next time we do this, which I don't know exactly when we will be doing this next, we will start with Oracle of Ages, which honestly I feel like it has the exact same enemies. Like, I just want to do a little bit of a checking here, because if it's the same, I mean, it doesn't change then. No, let's undo that. Start here. Alright, so it does have, like, one new enemy in a Bari. Bari and Beery. And boulders. It also has a Dark Link? It's got Guineas. Alright, it's got some new enemies. Fine. We will go through it. I can't get out of it. It's got different enemies. Alright, well, thank you to Chaos Lord, #1 Sifrin fan, Mrs. Epitaph Fox, as well as anyone else who may have been lurking or otherwise. Or anyone else who I may be forgetting that was here earlier as well. Let me just double check. #1 Sifrin fan, Chaos Lord, Irishman88 was here briefly. Mrs. Fox, of course. I think that really rounds up everybody else. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I know it was a break from the normal, being that we've been doing In Stars in Time for so long. But we will be returning to that on Tuesday, probably starting around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Due to some things going on IRL, we're going to be streaming a little bit earlier every day. So every time I stream, that'll be earlier times. But that being said, that's it for me for today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and goodbye.